Hello and welcome to today's Healing Tree Live. I'm Danielle Gaudette, and anytime you would like to say hello in the chat box or make any comment or question as I talk about today's topic, I would love to hear from you. So today's topic is on self-love. I feel like it's such an essential aspect of emotional healing and emotional freedom techniques, EFT, that I wanted to talk about it now before I create more tapping videos. It's really baked into, probably you've noticed this already, the beginning part of EFT. But let's talk about this a little more because I feel like you can never really address it enough. So for me, in my life, I didn't love myself at all, for sure. And that could probably be why I'm so interested in talking about it. The beginning of my journey was with a lot of emotional stress and struggle and conflict, really boiling down to intense self judgment, self criticism, just being really, really hard on myself, having really high standards and expectations that I could never meet, and then kind of beating myself up about that. And this was happening consciously, but also unconsciously. So I feel like self love is something that is a process and a journey. That's really the first thing that I want to say today. I'm not saying, okay, if you're like me, like what I just shared, okay, love yourself, like starting now, let's go. I know that it's a process, it's a long journey, and I'm still in that journey. But actually, it's become a really beautiful blossoming, unraveling as I become more and more aware of the places where I'm not loving myself and where I can improve loving myself. I feel like there's a lot of aspects to this. People might think that self love is, I don't know, exercising more or eating better or taking long baths or little vacations and retreats for yourself. And all of that can be part of it. Those are very self-loving things to do. I'm definitely not denying that. But I'm interested in the more day-to-day, moment-to-moment places where there's a lot of room for us to love ourselves more, but we won't notice that unless we can see how unloving we're being to ourselves. So, first step is making the choice. I think this is the very first step to even have it as a goal. I want to love myself more. Oh, I see it. Hi, Kim. The moment to moment self care is super important. Yes, I agree. And I'm really interested in the moment to moment stuff because that's where I feel like we see our happiness increase, our joy increase when we really get familiar with it moment to moment, right? Because we can go on a vacation or do something really nice for ourselves and then come back to life and then we're just fallen into our same habit and pattern. So, first, choosing self love. I truly want to love myself more. I want to be loving to myself the same way that I give love to the people around me who I love and care about deeply. Or I would even give that love to my pets or any animals and even plants, flowers, gardens, trees. We give our love, but am I giving it to myself? So the first choice is I want to do that. I'm choosing it, like empowering ourselves with that choice. And then recognizing it's a long process. We're going to do this little by little, day by day, and we're going to get there and we're going to keep getting closer to loving myself. There's a joy in that. So I want to talk about more of what that looks like. It requires awareness. It requires us being more aware of ourselves, how we treat ourselves, how that makes us feel. the way we think, the way we talk. I mean, I mentioned already about the way we eat or the way we move, right? The way we exercise, but also the way we think, the way we talk to ourselves and others. All of this is all part of increasing our self love. Now, I'm really enjoying listening to Eckhart Tolle a lot these days. You probably have heard of him. He's been around for a long, long time, and his wisdom is really like landing in a place where it just hits me and it resonates so deeply. So I'm listening to him a lot these days. And I just heard him say, like, there's no such thing as self love, meaning that when we are fully in the present moment and when we are completely in alignment with our truth, then there's no second self, there's no split of self. We just become one with ourself and we just are love itself. And I agree with that. And that's beautiful. But in my personal experience, there has been a, a lot of realizing all the places inside of me where I am split and I am fragmented. And I need to be able to recognize that and accept that. And when I can do that, then all those fragmented parts stop fighting with each other. And I can feel that love that I already am, that life inside that I already am. So this has been my journey, going from being extremely self-critical and harsh on myself to little by little, first of all, realizing who I really am, the life inside of me that I am essentially. And I'm talking about really just life itself, the same life that's breathing inside of the flowers, the trees, the animals, the sky, life itself, just a living, breathing being. And as that being, I have an essential worth and value. The same way we would treat other forms of life respectfully, I can give myself permission to treat myself that way. That was kind of my first awakening and awareness. And now it's 25 years of being on that journey. It's a process of remembering and forgetting again, and remembering and forgetting, and realizing all these little, as I mentioned, habits and patterns and all the little detailed parts of my life where even though I may deep down in my heart know that life within me, and I may be able to get there through training, meditation, there may be more and more increasing times where I'm connected to that. I needed to become and continue to become interested in the places where I'm not. Because those moments and those places are they're stealing my self love away from me. And I deserve more than that. So, this is the value piece here. You're not going to be able to make a choice to love yourself unless you feel you are valuable enough, you're worthy enough of that love. So, what I'm saying is, at our essence, we already are. We're not different than, the love and respect you feel for others or, people you admire or someone very close to your heart or, again, animals, pets, nature, the earth. We're all life itself. So it really helped me. That was the beginning to really, really feel that really deep inside that's who I am. So now, 25 years of this journey is realizing all the places where I forgot that self. I forgot that essential, worthy truth of me. And I fell into my confusions, my illusions, all my fragmented parts, the part of me that says, oh, this part of me is not good enough. The part of me that says, oh, this part of me did something wrong, isn't deserving. There's all these little subtle and subconscious parts. EFT is wonderful for bringing these parts into conscious awareness because if we don't become aware of them, we can't move beyond them. They're just quietly and silently controlling me. So I now currently feel I still have, I still have lots of room to increase my self love on a day to day, moment to moment basis. But I now feel the joy in that process, more excited for it, open to it. I want to see. I want to see places where I can love myself more because I know deep down I am worthy. So, if you have a really hard time with self love, first you need to come to terms with your worth. And it's not the kind of worth that is because you did something good or you achieved something or you did something right or you aren't worthy because you did something wrong or because no one thinks this or feels that or said this or treated you that way. It's not about others and it's not about external actions and achievements. It's not about any of that. It's about recognizing my fundamental worth and value. So that's where I want to point you to first if self-love is if it sounds impossible to you because I was there. So I understand. I was like, self-love, what's that? People would say, you need to love yourself more. You're so hard on yourself. Love yourself. And I'd be like, sounds good. How? What does that feel like? I didn't even know what that feels like. So we have to find and awaken the feeling. This is part of the reason why I love EFT because we get to clear off, we get to keep cleaning and clearing all the parts that are blocking me from being able to connect with that essence. And then we get to keep bringing into conscious awareness and clarity into light. Oh, that's what I've been doing to myself. I didn't even realize. So I'm kind of keep summarizing as I go along here because I feel that it's so important. So first deciding I really want to love myself and then asking, can I even sense what that is? And then maybe I need some cleaning just to get there. And there's lots of things to help you do that. You can connect to the breath, you can do some tapping, you can go sit by a tree and try to feel your essence breathing inside of you. Then we get down to the fun part, which is the day to day, the moment to moment, and being more aware of how I treat myself and how I make myself feel. Like listening to the body, right? So this is also why the beauty of energy work is connecting you, getting your mind back to your body so you can get a sense, paying attention. When I think that way, how does it make me feel? When I talk that way, how does it make me feel? I think we're starting, right? If you're on a healthy, like a journey towards health and happiness, you're maybe more inclined to ask yourself that about the things you eat or if you exercise or not. How does it make me feel? And being in the company of other people, how does it make me feel? But we can get even more granular. The way I talk to myself, the way I talk to others. How does it make me feel? Is there room for me to be a little bit more kind to myself? A little bit more compassionate? And as we're discovering, right, we're discovering all these fragmented parts, right? This is why we need to love myself. There's two pieces here. We're discovering the fragmented parts and we're just holding space, a loving space for those parts. So it requires some acceptance as we become aware. I have this part of me that keeps saying, this isn't okay. They keep saying, I didn't do it right. They keep saying, pushing me to be more perfect, to not make mistakes. We want to discover these weaknesses inside of us so we can love all these parts, the angry part, the scared part, the sad part. If you don't know what to do with it, it's okay. Practice to just love it as it is. Let it be. It's not my essence, but it's a part of me. So, this is also increasing self love, right? Am I really listening to myself? Am I paying attention to my own wants and needs? Maybe I'm upset because I have a need, I have a want, and it's not getting met. Now, if we want to keep focusing outside, like because that person did this, so my need's not getting met, because that person said that, I'm upset. This is when when we're interested, the more interested we become in self-love, the more we can feel that's not very loving to myself. Just being mad at that person and blaming them, does it really feel good inside of me? Do I really deserve that? So again, this is all about discovering and reclaiming our own true self-worth and value. Does it really feel good to me to be mad at them continuously in my head? And I'm not exempt from this. So I share these things with you because I am paying attention to myself, to my clients, to my students. I'm listening and I'm observing and I'm seeing patterns inside myself included. I just in preparing for this call was getting some text and it was igniting a frustration in me. I was getting angry at the person on the other side. And my brain was pulling all the files. Have you ever done this? Like my brain is pulling all the files of why I should be so upset about this. And what am I going to do? And how? And then at some moment I felt like, so again, it's awareness, right? It turns on. The more we practice it, it turns on. Wait, is this really helping me in any way? I'm only hurting myself with this anger. I'm only hurting myself with this upset. I don't deserve that. I don't need to do that to myself right now. I don't need to do that to my body. I don't need to do that to my mind. I don't need to torture myself. So it's not even about others ultimately. It's really just about myself. And what we're doing here is we're repairing our relationship with ourselves. We're repairing our relationship with all these fragmented parts. We can call them different parts of our ego, different parts of our psyche, different wounds and traumas that we hold on to inside. They are all like saying something. They're speaking something. They're signaling some discomfort, some upset all the time. So, what we're doing is learning how to love those parts and harmonize with those parts until we can ultimately harmonize with ourselves on a more consistent, steady basis. And then we can all come to the great consciousness that I shared at the beginning, that Eckhart Tolle is talking about, which is there is no other separate self. There's just the I am, the joy of the beingness. There's just love itself and life itself. And I'm sure we all want that, but I don't want us to feel pressure to be like that. And then that's the perfect way. And oh, when I have an upset, I'm not good enough. That's why I'm interested in the day to day, moment to moment. I have an opportunity here to love that part of me. I have an opportunity to listen a little more closely. What is my body saying right now? What is my mind saying? Right? When you love someone, you listen to them, you hold space for them, you validate them, you tell them, no, you're okay. It's okay. You comfort them. So self love is about being able to do these things for ourselves, wanting to do them, feeling that I deserve it. And we do deserve it for no other reason more than that we are living, breathing beings. So when we respect the life that we are, naturally we respect other life more. We love more truly and completely. And all of this happens the more we recognize that worth and that value. So it's such a huge win for us. It's such a huge treasure. And it's such an important part of the healing journey. In some ways, emotional healing is all about self love. Last week at the live, I said emotional healing is all about self forgiveness. Also true. But we can only forgive ourselves when we love ourselves. So that's why today I wanted to talk about this very essential aspect of self healing, emotional healing, and EFT. So if you've done any emotional freedom technique, then you probably recognize that this always comes up in the setup statement. So today, before I close this live, first of all, I want to make sure that you can drop any question in the chat box and I will be happy to answer any question. And if you have a topic that you would like for me to speak on in a future live or tap on in a future video, you're also welcome to drop that topic there. Actually, I'm going to be getting ready to do another video, a tapping video on shame, because that was brought up in a previous live. And really, underneath shame is knowing my worth. The moment I know my true value, my essence, my essential self, the life that I am, that's how I can start to dissolve this problem of shame. And again, my own personal journey I've felt just about every single emotion there is and struggled with all of them. And so it took a lot for me to recognize and realize this. And I'm just coming here to remind us so that it can help anyone who's watching get closer to that worth and get out from that place where we feel shame and we're so hard on ourselves because we think we deserve that somehow. So I want us to move towards that worthy essence more easily, more smoothly. I want you to be able to more easily and smoothly than I did, because it was a very painful journey for me. So in EFT, we see this self-love in the setup statement, and I want to practice that with you for a moment so you can really absorb this a little more. We tap the side of our hand, so you can go ahead and tap along with me. And if you check in with yourself, I just kind of want you to feel whatever it is you might be struggling with at the moment. It doesn't have to be deep and profound. It could be a small annoyance or an ache or a pain, whatever it is. And we're just going to do the setup. We're not going to do a full tap. We're just going to do the setup so you can get a feel for it. Repeat after me. Even though I have this issue, and you can say whatever it is. I have this frustration. For me earlier, I have this anger rising about this situation. It's okay. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So try that, say that, and see how that feels. You want to see if you can receive that, if you can even accept those words, or do you immediately reject them? You can get a feel for your relationship, your own self-loving relationship with yourself at this moment. Like, what's your current status with how much you're able to love yourself? So we can adjust it a little bit. If it feels like I resist, I cannot say that. It's not a truth for me that I deeply and completely love and accept myself. If you're not feeling that right now, if you're not connected to that worthy feeling that you're worthy enough to say that, we can adjust it a little bit. So even though I have this situation going on, this frustration, this anger rising inside, it's okay. I want to be able to love and accept myself in the future. Try that. See how that feels. that help you relax a little? Can you breathe? Or do you still feel a resistance? Do you feel a rejection? So let me give you one more option, and that's the option of choice, because we can always choose. In any single moment, we can empower ourselves with choice. So let's try this. Even though I have this issue right now, whatever it is, you can speak it out. It's okay. I choose to love and accept myself completely. I choose to love and embrace all of myself. I deserve this. Try that. How does that feel? Good. Lower your hands. Let's breathe in and breathe out. So we're always setting up that way in EFT, because we always want to remember at the beginning, even though I have those issues, I have those fragmented parts fighting with themselves. I'm in conflict with myself some way. I'm hurting myself in some way, even though it's okay. I'm remembering that I'm worthy and deserving of love and acceptance. That's ultimately how the foundation that we're lying down when we repeat those statements. We're remembering, I deserve love, because we all do. Because this is our birthright. This is our essence. So every time you ever loved another, or you looked at nature and you felt love, it's because you have that love inside. That's who you are, at the pure and deep essence of your heart. So I hope this has been helpful for you in kind of getting you turned on to this concept and checking yourself. Am I really loving myself? And what can I do to love myself more? And these can be very, very small actions. I named big ones at the beginning, like going on a retreat or taking a long bath, going for a walk. And those are great actions too. Maybe you want to do some tapping. That's also another really powerful self love action. But it can also be as small as, I'm going to breathe out. I'm going to smile. I'm going to turn on some music I like. I'm going to sit down and journal all of this and give myself some time and space to listen to myself. I say this often, some people don't like it. I'm going to go to the mirror and I'm going to say, I love you to my eyes in the mirror, and look at myself and validate myself and see myself. Or I'm going to write at the end of the day 5 things I love about myself. I'm going to make a habit to find 5 things that I love about myself today. There's so many things we can do. So many things we can do. We can pivot. We can give ourselves grace. We can give ourselves a little compliment. I know you're just doing your best. It's okay. I know you have that part that feels hurt right now, that feels angry. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to relax. I'm going to let my nervous system calm down. All of this is incredibly self-loving and kind to myself. So please give yourself a little more kindness. You deserve it. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. I don't see any questions in the chat box, so I won't take any extra time, but you are welcome, if you are watching this as a video, to write in the comments anything that resonated for you, or if you have questions, or as I mentioned, if you have something particular maybe that you're struggling with that's blocking your self-love that you'd like to talk about a little bit more. And you're also welcome to come tap with me anytime, whether it's on YouTube or privately, if it can help you in your healing journey. So good luck, everyone, with loving yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.